we're gonna hear the hearings first, right?
Well, I think they'll approve the minutes, call quorum, approve the minutes, and then it'll be hearing. And we have
We're gonna
had
hear
our
the hearings first, right?
Zoom meeting.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Charlie. I see Charlie. Let's see. There. Oh, wait. I saw the room for 1 second. Oh, there's Mike. Is that you walking up to the? Yes. Okay, you're waving. Good morning.
Robert's over here. I don't know. Can you see him on the far left side?
I believe you.
Yeah, he's there.
Pointed to get the wall.
And Robert, you can sit anywhere you want.
Okay, I may move.
Yeah.
You can't sit in my chair. It has my name on it.
Okay, Cindy.
Oh my God. We are more than 60 parts, so we're in good shape.
Yes, and at the end of this table, it'd be more than 6 feet.
Okay.
You should be the Zoom participants
He's called in, so he should be.
He'll be
joining
showing
by
up.
Zoom.
at some point. Okay.
So we have a quorum, like with Charlie and Cindy and Robert.
Yes,
Kathy's not going to be here?
she should be. We delivered her Kindle yesterday.
You just may not have signed in yet, Charlie. Okay, with everything about it.
That's a man with the library right there. What the heck are all those books about?
What's that?
I said, that's a man with the library right there.
Well, there's a lot of marine books and some textbooks that I kept from college and physics and things that I go back to occasionally.
Physics.
Oh my God, Charlie, that's hysterical. Because you know what? My physics book is one of the ones I kept from college. I loved physics. Oh my God, it was like my favorite.
We had a professor we named Mystic Miners because he gave a once a week lecture and we called it Mystic Miners Magic Show.
Physics was fun until you had calculus based advanced physics, and then it became not as much fun.
You know what's funny, Mike, is that way back when I went to college, we actually did a thing where we had a gun on campus, to figure out how to project where the bullet would go. I mean, and it's like nowadays, it's like, yeah, you could never do anything like that.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, rural Texas, I mean, you had people in trucks and they had their 22 and underneath they had their shotgun, and it was in their short bed pickup truck, and it was in the cab, and the windows were half cracked because it's too hot in the summer, or too hot in South Texas.
Yeah.
And nobody took anything and nobody did anything. It was just, different world.
Yeah.
Different world.
Hey, Charlie, while I'm thinking about it, I saw John Sobey last week. You want to go to lunch on Thursday?
Thursday. Can't do that.
Okay,
Doctor's appointment.
okay.
Got to go to beautiful downtown Corpus Christi.
I'm calling Kathy. So,
Huh?
I'm just calling Kathy. Uh-oh, she's not answering.
Maybe try to do it on her phone.
Hi, this is Kathy. Your personal and business calls are very important to me.
Because did she know to go on her computer? I'm sorry. I'm just wondering.
Y'all want me to give Kathy a call?
Well, I just called her. Yeah, I mean, yes, you're more than welcome. I just called her on her cell, but I'm wondering maybe call her on her
She's right.
home phone. You know,
Oh, she's there.
Say hi.
she's there.
There she is. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, there you are.
Hello, Kathy.
She can't hear us.
Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Okay, I'll text her that she's muted.
Oh, here she goes.
Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Robert, if you want to sit in my chair, you can. Christmas is coming up, so I'll share.
Okay.
God.
I am feeling very out of sight over here in the corner.
No, we hear your voice, but I don't see anything. It's a Christmas ghost.
You might just pop into the screen real quick and say, you know, whenever we start the proceedings so that people know that you're here in the room. No, okay. I don't.
Oh, okay.
No.
You can sit over here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or should I push you over there?
Yes.
It's
Are
9
you
o'clock. We have the person waiting, right?
Yes.
Okay, Charlie, you want to get the first part of the meeting underway?
Okay. We're opening a meeting of the Appraisal Review Board for Aransas County. It is December the 8th, 2020. It is 9 o'clock. Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Yes, Sir Chairman, we do.
Thank you. We have a quorum. We have the minutes of the previous meeting. Val?
Yes, the October 6th meeting. It's number Roman numeral 2 on your Kindle.
Read and act on previous minutes.
Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept the minutes as,
I move that we accept the minutes from the October 6, 2020 quarterly meeting.
second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any citizens to be heard out there, Mel?
No, we do not.
Okay. In that case, we'll go to the two appeals, protests. Which one is up first?
The 64418.
Is that the telephone or the affidavit?
It is by Zoom,
Okay,
and it is the agent from Morrison and Head who will be representing the property owner.
Which case? Since you didn't put that on. 1799.
1799.
And do you have them included at this point?
Not yet. I just told them we were about to bring them in. Let me know when you
All
are.
right, Charlie, the account is 64418.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm having a little trouble bringing it up on my. Huh. Okay, we'll go ahead. We're going to open the hearing. Is the protester on board?
Almost. Give me just a second. I'm letting them in right now.
Okay.
Amy, are you going to do this one?
Uh,
Okay, send required notice.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
This is Charlie Powers of the Appraisal Review Board. We're about to open the hearing for you.
Okay.
So if you'll just bear with us, we have some administrative that we have to go through along the way.
No problem.
Okay. We're opening hearing on protest number 2020-1799, account number 64418. This hearing is being recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing your protest today. The people present are myself, Charles Powers, Secretary Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, and Robert Dayton. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed through the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/survey-ARB. Survey is voluntary, but we do appreciate you taking it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Do we have all of your evidence?
Yes, you should have roughly, or it should be 34 pages of evidence.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Mhm.
ARB members who are considering your protest today have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. And I'll begin with I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I am signing to that effect, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear I've not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I am signing to that fact now, and I am physically located in the state of Texas.
My name is Val Smith. I'm a notary public. I am witnessing the signatures of Ms. Duck and Mr. Powers via Zoom, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm just out of your screen, but I'm here in a little bit.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. I'm assuming that the protester, you are under oath as a result of having signed the affidavit.
Yes, sir.
Mike?
My name is Michael Soto. I do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony and shall present to the appraisal review board for the Ramsey County Appraisal District is correct. And Amen Burke will swear in as well.
I am in Berkeley, solemnly swear affirm the testimony I'll present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District.
Sir, do you have a license as an appraiser in the state of Texas?
No, sir, I'm not a licensed appraiser in the state of Texas.
Okay, thank you. Do you have, as part of your package, the time limits for the various parts of the procedure?
Yes, I do believe so. Yes, hearing procedure times, yes, sir, I do have that.
Excellent. Would you like to go first, or would you like the district to go first?
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to go first. Yes, sir.
Okay, you have 5 minutes to state your case.
Perfect.
Point of order, can you read the protest form, please? To see what this is about. I'd hate for us to get started before.
Can you say that one more time?
The protest form doesn't say the reason, I mean, it says the reason we extended this offer to you to go ahead and have a hearing late, but it doesn't say the original reason for protest.
But that's the point, Cindy, is that the thing under protest today is they
Okay. You guys hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
Kathy, we got it.
Yeah, I can't get you on my iPad, but I got you on my phone.
That's okay. Phone's working good.
You'll notice that the protest that we have in your hand right now is the failure to send notice. So that needs to be addressed. There was a previous notice for which they received the hearing and they were marked as a no-show.
Yeah, that's correct. The notice was sent to the address 8257 Ascot Place, Prosper, Texas, zip code 75078. The actual address for the owner is 8275 Ascot Place, Prosper, Texas, 75078. So the mix-up was there in the first 4 numbers. The notice was sent to 8257. The address is actually 8275. So he never received the notice because it was sent to the wrong address.
And the reason for that, sir?
I think it was just wrong in the appraisal districts on the website. I believe we had talked to Eamon Burke, and the appraisal district had confirmed that they had sent it to that wrong address.
Right, but it was there. We sent it to the address because we're an office of record. We sent it to the address that was on the deed. So the deed actually had 8257. So we sent it to the
Yeah, whenever he filled out the protest form, he put the correct address. Because he received the notice, he just never received the ARB hearing.
well,
We can look at the,
You talking to me?
Okay. What's the, I'm getting confused.
okay, so there was an inquiry
Mhm.
down here
Yep.
for 2020, we go into that.
Good images. This thing?
You're in,
Oh, you need the. No, this is the one for today. You want to see the first one? Okay.
So the property owner's affidavit has 8275.
Make it bigger. Yeah, it says 8257. And that is what's on the deed.
okay.
I don't see
So
anywhere in this where the address was corrected.
I just want to present this as evidence for just the hearing itself. So this is the actual protest form filled out by Jeremy. Is that you, sir?
No, sir, that is the owner.
Okay, so go ahead and put this let everybody see this. Because I think the statement by the owner's agent was that he put the correct address on the protest form.
Oh, I'm sorry. Make sure you're on the screen too.
And I want to show you what we received as far as a protest. And this would have been during the protest season. So this is, tell me your name again, sir?
Hunter Sumner.
Hunter. So
Yes,
this,
sir.
this is the actual protest form. And you can see right here that what they put down was 8257. This is,
We can't, and I'm sorry, Mike, we just can't see that. Can they give us a close-up now of it or not?
can you put that on their thing?
Yeah, it is. There you go.
Can you see that now? On your screen?
We can see the wall.
I
Yeah,
could
I
see
can.
the wall.
No, can you,
Oh, no, it should be. It should be.
It's not appearing as a shared screen.
how about now?
Yes.
That's better.
There we go.
Okay, so the point to this is that the statement was made that the owner turned in this protest form with the correct address. And that's the owner's name, and there's the date that they sent in their protest form, but I want you to notice the address. The address is 8257 Ascot Place. That's what the property owner sent. So they sent in their own incorrect address because that's what was on the deed when it transferred. So there was some deed work that was done incorrectly. And for the record, I think they've owned it for a couple of years. We can check that.
Okay.
They've
Yes, sir.
owned it since 17. So I guess the point is did we really fail to send it to the proper address? I mean, because you were about to start a case and start to listen to the facts of the case.
Yes, sir.
We received a notice of a protest, and the owner himself put 8257.
No, sir. He didn't put that. That was pre-filled out by the appraisal district. He handwrites on everything. And just one other thing. I mean, this is, I guess, y'all's property card, and it's not part of my evidence. And I'm not sure if we can show the property card to the ARB here, but if you look on the owner ID, it says Jeremy Ellison Enterprises LLC, and it has the correct address of 8275 Ascot Place, Prosper, Texas. I'm trying to show that, but I think it'd be backwards if I showed it on mine. If I reflected it to my camera. If that-
Details,
Right there.
and it was saved on the address.
The address was changed on October 19th, 2020.
Yeah, he told us that he had communicated with the appraisal district prior to us getting involved here at Morrison Head. He had communicated with you guys that the address was incorrect and that he had received it and he had corrected.
If he had contacted us and told us to change the address as he did in October, it would have been changed prior to May. But I mean, this is whenever it was changed, our system just logs it and says address information last changed on October 19th, 2020.
And that's when we received your notice.
Yeah, and that the address that is apparently not where he gets his mail is what's on the deed. So by May, there was no way for us to know that's not where the guy is physically sitting.
Yes, correct. And he didn't realize that until he didn't receive his ARB notice.
But he received a notice of.
But
he received
fulfill
his value notice.
Yeah, to fulfill our delivering of the mail, though, we have to hand it to the mail carrier. I mean, this was the address of record, and it was printed by the printer and sent out to the address that we had. There's no way we could have known that his deed was wrong, and it's arguable, that That's a much bigger problem.
I mean, I guess the core of it though is that he did appeal it. He just was not aware that he was scheduled for a hearing because he never received the notice.
But he
Appealed.
But he received the notice of appraised value? Is that the?
Supposedly, that's what he has told us. I don't have any way to confirm that. I mean,
Well, yeah, because the form is on the back of the notice. So he did get. the
Well, I
notice.
mean, this doesn't look, go back to that form. Yeah, pull that up. Can everybody see that?
Yeah,
Zoom into it a couple of times.
This is the one that was mailed. It was mailed to 8257. We got it. Sent it back to us. It doesn't have a correction of the address on this form. I mean, I know that it's pre-filled out, but we can't expect that something that he signed that he didn't read. I mean, we expect this to be, it's a courtesy, to include the property owner's name. Sometimes people have multiple properties, but we didn't get any notice that this wasn't where it gets mailed. And I mean, if he got this, I don't know why he wouldn't get the notice.
I mean, I think there could be a number of reasons for that. Whether or not the mail carrier just realized on the notice that there was no 8257 address, or I mean, I'm not sure if there is or isn't, but maybe they realized that there wasn't an 8257. They noticed a swap or something like that. Saw his name and screwed it up to other mail that had his correct address on it. I mean, I'm not sure how he got that, but didn't receive the ARB notice. That's just all the information I was given.
Right. But for the record, we do have an evidence package that we were prepared to present at that time, and we have that now. But for the record, the district feels like we didn't do anything wrong here. There was a deed record that was incorrect, and the property owner had received notices or had received mail from this county, both the CAD and the tax office, for a couple of years, and so we were not aware that there was a displacement of the numbers in any way. And furthermore, the most recent appeal by the property owner themselves is a signed document with no correction to the address. And so for them to say, "Hey, I received my notice of appraised value, and here it is, and I'm appealing," but to say I didn't receive, the other, I don't know. I'm saying to the board that I don't think the district did anything wrong here. We're an office of record. At the time, we had a deed in our hand. The most recent document from the property owner has an address there that they signed on a certain date, and we scheduled them for a hearing. Having said that, we do have evidence that we can present for the case. So it's up to the ARB whether you want to hear it. If you do, then we're ready to hear the case.
Yeah, I think that I understand what you're saying, and I feel like, we're both in a hard spot because I'm here representing the property owner, and I'm just giving the information that he's told me. But I mean, at the end of the day, the value doubled from last year to this year. So the property owner wanted to protest wanted to be there for the ARB and take care of this to try to resolve, because he didn't want to see a big increase like this. So I understand it's on y'all's side. You just sent it to the address that you have on file. But I think the fact of the matter is that I don't think out of good faith he missed it. The goodwill on his part, or out of ill will, he missed it. I think that it was just an overlook on both sides, and that if he would have actually received notice, he would have been at the hearing. I do not think there was any.
Well, as far as an overlook, I would not agree that it's an overlook on our part. We're an office of record. There was a deed filed. The owner had the deed in his possession, and if there was a correction that needed to be made, it's incumbent upon the property owner to make that correction. Furthermore, he's owned it for 2 years. Having said that, I understand you're in a difficult spot. But the most recent protest that we have on file is failure for a hearing notice.
Yep.
So it's, I mean, the board's got to rule on that first before we can move on.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I was just trying to point out that the property owner did not miss the hearing, out of any ill will or nothing like that was going on. He just really honestly missed the hearing because he didn't receive a note. And I think that's just what I'm just trying to get across. And I think everybody understands that now. It's obviously he wants to protest it, just give him the value and stuff. So I think that's just one thing that I just wanted to point out was that.
Right. Yeah, there's a procedural thing too that the board needs to consider, and I'm not going to tell them what to do, but what the board should consider is just from a procedural and jurisdiction thing, what do you have in front of you now? Because at that time, there was a protest form that was delivered to the district. The district then returned a hearing date for which there was failure to appear, and it was marked as a no-show. So now the only protest form that the ARB has in front of it is a hearing notice, failure to send the required notice. So that's really what they can rule on.
Right. My view is that the property owner is responsible for making sure that his address is correct, and therefore there is no case.
I agree with Charlie. We've used that philosophy or whatever all season. That's what we've done.
I agree. It's unfortunate that it happened this way, but we have to go by the paperwork.
I have one question. Was this brought up, was this specific case brought up to us and we did or did not, or is this the first time this one's come up in front of us?
Yes, Cindy. So the evidence of this case was protested by the property owner. They received a hearing date.
Right.
They did not appear. So
right.
You've never heard, the ARB's never heard this case for this current year. They've
okay.
Never,
I mean, you know how like we'll get them presented and we decide whether or not to grant a hearing. That's what's occurring now. That's never occurred before with this specific property.
It was just a no-show.
Got it.
it was marked as a no-show.
Got it. Yeah. The one part I wouldn't make a determination based upon them receiving their mail or not, because that is craziness and we can't say, I mean, sometimes the postman delivers stuff that has an odd address, but he happens to know where we live. But I don't even think that is part of the argument. I don't even want to hang anything on that. We've always determined it is the property owner's, that's their responsibility to make sure that we have the correct address on file.
So I would entertain a motion to deny the protest.
I make a motion that based upon how we have ruled on all of our other cases and to remain consistent and within the rules, that we do not grant a late hearing on this property.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
One thing for the record, Hunter, and you know this, is that you have any time prior to the tax becoming delinquent, you do have the availability for the 25/25 delta that you can file.
Oh, yes, sir.
And I only say that to you so that you would be made aware that if you want to continue to try to, essentially, you want to represent your client for a value change. And, like you want to represent value. And so if you want to pursue that, you have that available. I just wanted to say that to you, all right?
Okay, any other comments? If not, this hearing is closed. Thank you, Hunter.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. Sorry it worked out this way. Hope you all have a great Have a great Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this next one is an affidavit.
Yes, Amy stepped away for a moment. Be back.
Yeah,
That was Val that
Oh.
stepped away. Okay, give me a second. Closing this for prior years. Take the next few steps. Well, in order to close it, I have to distribute the value that I've already used. I have to affirm the value, so I have to
Yes.
supplement it to do
Yes.
nothing. But which one do I use? The which code does the tax office want it? Determination of purchase. 4147.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Sorry.
Can I ask a question? I got you guys on my phone. If I turn my phone off, it says on my iPad, please wait, the meeting host will let you in. So if I close my phone, will it let me in on my iPad?
No, you can
No.
close your iPad though. Your phone's working good. The thing
Okay.
is on your iPad, whenever the Zoom call was first initiated, my guess is that it gives you the option to call via the device audio or to call on your phone. And
Okay.
it was not selected to call using the device audio because normally ask somebody to unmute, but there isn't a mic. It doesn't say you're muted. It doesn't even have a microphone for you, but your phone is working just fine. If you're okay with that, we're okay with that.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
All right, I'm done with the other one. We can get started on this next one.
Okay, opening a hearing on protest number 2020-1798, account 56154. This hearing is being recorded. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing the protests today. Present on the board are myself, Charles Powers, Secretary Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, and Robert Dayton. We are appointed to perform an independent review of the protest. Protester has the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to the protester with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 41.45H, all written material is assumed to have been provided with the affidavit. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I shall begin with I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 4166F. I am signing to that effect, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I've not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I'm signing to that, and I am physically located in the state of Texas.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F. I am signing to that effect, and I am physically located in Texas.
My name is Val Smith. I'm a notary public, and I'm witnessing Mr. Powers, Ms. Duff, and Ms. Hoffman's signatures via Zoom, and I am physically located in Texas.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. Mike?
My name is Michael Soto, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony itself is appraisal review board.
District Representative will now read the affidavit into the record.
Second, I'll swear in real quick, just in case. I, in regard to solemnly swear or affirm testimony shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to read the property owner's protest form and taxpayer evidence. This is the motion to correct for 1/3 over appraised value of error of non-resident homestead movement It says the chief appraiser for Ramsey County or Peggy Jones, the owner of the property, at 4841 Highway 35 North, parcel number 56154, brings this motion to correct the hearing of 1/3 over appraised error regarding the described non-resident homestead property on the appraisal roll certified by this appraisal review board on July 12, 2020. The movement states that the property taxes for the 2020 tax year have not become delinquent, and the movement property owner has complied with the provisions of the tax code of 2526 and has not forfeited the right to appeal for non-payment of taxes. The movement states that the property described above is located within Aransas County Appraisal District, and furthermore that the property described is located in the taxing units listed below: Aransas County Appraisal District, Navigation District, Aransas County ISD, and County Road and Flood. The movement states that the movement states the 1/3 over appraised error is as follows: property is overvalued. The movement states that the motion pursuant to tax code 2525 Delta 2 and Echo, and requests that the appraisal review board schedule a hearing to determine whether to correct the error. The movement requests that the appraisal review board send the notice of time and date and a place fixed for the hearing to the presiding officer of the governing body of each tax unit where the property is located, not later than 50 days before the hearing. Signed by Rhonda Jones on 10/1 of 2020 in Hempstead, 8990 Hempstead, number 100, Houston, Texas. There's a phone number attached. That is the motion for the hearing to correct 1/3 over the appraised value of non-resident homes. I'm now going to read the taxpayer's property evidence. It reads as such: Aransas County Central Appraisal District 2020, parcel number 56154, Peggy Jones Properties Inc., 8990 Hempstead Road, Suite 100, Houston, Texas 77008. There's a phone number and an email attached right there. The property description is 4841 Highway 35 North. It says provide legal description. The legal description is A70 COD Gilliland Acres 1.02 and additional proof.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
and I'm so sorry. Can you kind of give me a reference where this is, please? I mean, I see it's on Highway 35 North, but
It's just directly north of the airport on the west side of 35 as they're heading north.
oh, okay. It's that building that's right there on the corner, kind of.
It's a building right, it's sandwiched between the airport and another like RV park. There's like one little apartment complex.
Yes. Okay. That's what this is.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Right.
256 square foot.
Right, okay. The sections of the reasons of the protest are incorrect appraised market value, values unequal compared with other properties. There's one packet included. Please see evidence package. Thank you, property tax consultant. Signed, I do not intend to appear in the hearing by telephone or conference call. This affidavit and evidence and or arguments submitted with it may be used at the hearing if I do not appear in person at the hearing. Signed in the County of Harris by Chelsea Watson on November 9th. The 2020 opinion of value on the effective date shown of 1/1/2020 and the date of report is 7/6 of 2020. The owner and subject property information indicates the account number 56154, Peggy Jones Properties Inc., the County of Aransas. The address is 4841 Highway 35 North, Lockport, Texas 78332. The mailing address is shown right there. The legal description is A70 COD Gilliland Acres 1.02. Land use code is MR. I think that stands for multi-residences. Land use description is multi-residences. The land area is 44,431 square feet. The total building area is 74,056. The net rentable area is 74,056. The building class is multiple residences, DBA. The year
What's the
built.
DBA? Mike, what's
That,
the DBA stand for?
I believe that's our code, that's multiple residents. I know that the last A stands for average, but it's just a multiple residence apartments.
It's a brick apartment building.
There you go.
White.
Okay,
This is their, again, this is their evidence that I'm just reading.
right, I understand.
Okay. The CAD preliminary market value is 462,930. Cost approach 323,007. Their opinion of value is 323,007. The assessment history is shown 18, 19, and 20, respectively 264, 325, 462. In those years, there's the price per improvement square footage of $20, $28 and $47 respectively. The percentage of change indicated. The improvement per square foot graph chart is indicated. There is a requested 2020 value. The 2020 value is the land plus the improvement. The land is 111,008. Improvement is 211,927. The total is 323,007. The land price per improvement is $28.42, which they indicated. The notes. The subject property is improvement class C, 7,457 square feet of an apartment building built in 1984. Since the disaster of hurricane, vacancies have been fluctuating. The cost approach comes in at $323,007. Cost approach valuation, account number 56154, multiple residence style apartments, 7,456 square feet, class C, quality low, 1984, effective age 36 years. Base cost information $44.25 per square foot. Height multiplier 1, base multiplier 4528, building size 7456. Improvement cost information 337,608. Percentage good 62%, percent complete 100%, physical obsolescence 10%, functional obsolescence 10%, economic obsolescence 10%. Depreciated cost 209,317. Market land cost information as described. Land 44,431 units per square. Those are square foot. Unit price $2.50. The adjusted price $2.50. Total adjustment per percent. Land cost is $111,080. Extra features: paving 176 units, open porch 256 units, detached storage 80 units. Adjusted price $6, $8, and $8 respectively. Year built 2000, 2000, 2016. Percentage good 68%, 68%, and 78% respectively. Depreciated cost is $718, $1397, and $499. In summary, you have the land at 111,080, buildings 209,317, extra features 2610, total improvement 211,927, market adjustment factor 1. So the value is 211,927 for a total cost approach of 323,007. The last thing that you have is the you have a depreciation table. Those are depreciation commercial property tables, current cost multipliers, local multipliers, and then they get to our sales grid. The comp sales grid that they provided at the end is basically our sales grid. It looks like it's our sales grid, just our sales grid, not our equity grid. So just our sales grid, and then they write some things on it. The things that they've written down are 5.4 miles away on Goose Island on a lake. They note the difference, they point to the difference in the square footage. Comp number 2, they say it's 6.9 miles away in town, and they say $800 a month. Comp number 3 is 3.1 miles away in town, listed for $1,150 a month. And therein lies the property owner's taxpayers' evidence.
Okay.
All right. For our evidence, maybe you wanna,
Yeah, I'll do it.
okay.
Property is 56154. It is a multifamily residential, it's an small apartment building out by the airport. I think it's called Redfish Run Apartments. The last known sales price for it was in 2015. It was purchased by the current owner for $425,000. And its market value last year was a result of an ARB decision, I think on grounds of remaining hurricane damage, at $325,000.
Oh, are we supposed to be seeing something? Because my screen is blue.
Oh,
Sure, we can pull that up, but y'all should also have a copy of our evidence in your tablets as well. But I can pull it over for you. Oh, you know what? We'll just do it over here.
Yep.
Does everybody have blue screens? Oh, there you go. Okay.
is that better? I can.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
I'm just looking at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay, this is the aerial view from pictometry of the apartment building. The RV park that's next to it is not part of this property. It's just a piece of land in this little complex. This is the property card for 2020 for the subject property. It was noticed at $462,930. And if you notice on remarks, it says remove H code, which was the hurricane damage codes, change roof style and adjusted effective years plus 10 years per site. And that was a result of field work that was done here. Come up again in a minute. The sales grid. So the sales grid is other apartment buildings that have sold in Aransas County. Obviously, this is a small county. We have a very small amount of apartments. Apartments don't sell a lot anyway, but we do have some comps. The first one is an apartment complex in Lamar. It's called Goose Island Lake Estates. The construction of the building is really similar to the subject. It's got more buildings. There's like I think there's three of them rather than just the one. And if it was sold in 2019 for $1.9 million, when adjusted to be like the subject, it renders a value of $788,000 for the subject. The next is a much smaller apartment building, kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, and it sold, 2019 for $500,000, and it's only like 6 units, something like that, 6 tenants. So if it was like the subject, it would have sold for $402,719.
Hey, go back up, please.
Sure.
To the, keep going. Okay, now this becomes more relevant.
Okay.
We've got a VA, a VF, and a VG.
Yes.
Can you tell me what the difference is?
Those are like quality codes. It has to do with like amenities or aesthetic features of the building. They have a, to be frank, our apartment building codes, there's not a whole lot of gradation between them. I mean, if they're an MRDV, they're kind of all the same. It's an apartment building.
Okay, because in one case you added 21,000, and in the other case you subtracted 128,000.
Right, and it's because this one, this F, it has like some attached garages, and this G one is like wood siding and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do those denote fair and good?
Yeah, something like that. They're really arbitrary letters, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And you'll see on this last one, it's a small apartment building on Harbor Oaks. It's the apartment building Harbor Oaks. And it actually has its own class. Class is 2445. So the name of the classes is just a label. And if again, it's like 8 different buildings, but this one's only one. But when adjusted, this 2.7 million sale indicates that the subject should sell for 350. If it sold 346, you know, if it sold exactly like this one. You know, our median value is 402,719, which is below our noticed value, if I remember rightly. Yeah, by a small amount. That's going to happen whenever you're trying to do a sales grid for apartments in a place that's so small a comptroller doesn't even look at our apartments. And the equity grid, this we can actually pull some comps and actually look at things that are similar. These are apartment buildings that are about the same size and about the same quality. We would expect them to get the same kind of rent, that kind of thing. And it also supports the equity value of $402,000 for the subject. And I will point out that this had been offered multiple times to the property owner's agent, both before the first hearing, during protest season, and many times thereafter. But it was just refused for some reason. The following is a, oh my gosh, what is this called?
Sales ratio report.
Sales ratio report, thank you, of properties in this area. And we're at 97% weighted mean and an average of 99.6. And that concludes the evidence that we submitted. I also want to use a little bit of time right now to point out my response to a couple of things that were brought up in here. Fundamentally, I guess the first thing I'd point out is that this opinion of value, 323,000, if we look at the property card, which was submitted in our evidence, you can see that under deeds and sales, that's less than what was paid for this building in 2003. I mean, that's 20 years ago. And this building is not 34 years depreciated. A building that's 34 years depreciated has had nothing done to it. That includes, in Aransas County, that includes hurricane damage. I mean, in 34 years, you're going to get a hurricane. So, you know, if this is an appraisal, this is kind of a useless appraisal. The effective age of this building is not 36 years. People wouldn't be able to live in it. And as far as our comps being 3 and 4 miles away, I mean, we can't comp the apartment that's half a mile away. There isn't one. This is Aransas County. That's how far out things are. You know, it's in town. It's not in town. This isn't Austin. So we're not going to have a matching apartment across the street. Well, yeah. Our comps are what they are. It's difficult to comp apartments in Aransas County.
And the biggest basis, if you can go to the property card in our evidence, the biggest basis for just the generalization of market value for the subject property, just continue our evidence. Go to the property card. So just zoom into that over here to the sales prices right here. So it sold for $385 in 03, nearly 20 years ago. It sold for $400 in 07, and it sold for $425 by the current owner. The current owner paid $425 for it. The fact that they're telling you that it's worth $323, $100,000 less than that, it's just, it doesn't, you know. And if you look at $425 and then you relate it to both our sales grid and our comp and our sales equity grid, our sales grid and our equity grid, those are both at 402 and change. So the 425 and the 402, there's some congruency there. The 425 and the 323 that the property owner's agent is purporting, I think just doesn't hold water. That's our evidence.
Can I just ask for something for clarification?
Yes.
Okay. So under your remarks, you know, it changed roof style, and that was on 10/29 of 19. I'm just, because usually, and again, I'm just clarifying, when we make a ruling, it holds for 2 years, right? Unless something stands out that changes it?
There's two ways it can change, Cindy. One is the subject property itself changes in physical characteristics, which this is one of those instances.
It
Or,
did.
or the market value for the subject property neighborhood changes, in which, like, you know, if you had a ruling one year, but then there's many sales within a subject property's neighborhood that purport that the value should change, either go up or go down. And
Because I thought that it was supposed to just be specific to that property, but no.
no, it's not. But I mean, in this case, it you know, we removed an H code and we changed the roof stop. And we adjusted the effective years. I mean, they actually fixed it up from the time before, so.
Okay, I just needed.
Okay, the comp equity grid has some comps that look very similar to the subject property and yields a value of 402,027.
So I make a motion. And does anybody have any more questions?
No.
Okay, I make a motion based upon what we've heard from the district and from the property owner's affidavit that we adjust the total value to 402,000.
027.
Well, let's just make it, can we make it 402?
Sure.
All right,
Okay, so then you've made a ruling on the value, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and so therefore, this is a 1/3 over, so now you have to do your test.
It fails.
I'm not gonna do that calculation, I'm gonna let you do that calculation.
The value with 1/3 comes out to 535,986, and that's
doesn't make it.
well below what you had, so it fails the test.
So therefore, you cannot make the change, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
So I think
In this case, do we
need to make a motion.
approve or denied?
Yeah, the 1/3 is denied.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. I see what you-
If the 1/3 is denied, do we still change the price? Or, I mean,
It's just much too late.
No,
No.
based
That's
upon what we've heard, I make a motion or just acknowledge the fact that this fails the 2525D ruling. So we cannot change the value for 2020 under the 2525D rules.
Second,
Second that.
in favor?
Aye.
Case closed. Before we go into the rest of the agenda, may we take a short break, please? Thank you.
One, you pulled it out, the next section. What did you do? Let's see, it's, is it,
gonna be the chief appraiser motion.
Yeah, but where is it? It's not in documents, it's not in an account.
No,
It's in, can we pull it up here? We can't pull it up here.
I can go,
Is it
put
Amazon?
it on, like the PAX drive, but that would be the only way, so.
The Amazon drive?
No,
It's not on the Amazon?
yeah, it's on the Amazon drive. but-
So I can pull that up,
Oh,
here,
okay.
I think.
We all back? Are we being recorded?
We are being recorded, but it hasn't stopped, but we're not
Okay.
all back.
Okay.
What is it?
So you have to go in there.
Capital A? Where are we? What are we gonna do next?
That's it.
Yeah, but how do you get this? How do you go to?
Well, we just scroll down.
Yeah, but I mean, can they see? Charlie, what are you looking at right now? Are you looking at people or are you looking at a document?
I'm looking at the room. Now I'm looking at myself. As soon as I speak, it rotated to me.
Yeah, get Amy to come start.
There's the room. Unless you do something to lock the screen on one particular image, it flips to the one that speaks.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to show me how to do it, or show Val. So that's what we.
Oh, we screen sharing?
Yeah.
You know, I was going to put up a different background than my office, but I thought it would be too disturbing.
It looks fine the way it is.
Screen share.
I was going to put up ocean waves and swaying palm trees.
Oh, that would be nice.
Now they're looking at the blue screen, or whatever's on the wall.
So now you can just like make it bigger over here if you want. The plus on the right hand side. You go.
Are they just tracking with what you're
Yeah,
gonna be reading?
yeah. I'll just make it bigger a little bit on the right hand side. You see the plus.
Well, I'm actually gonna put it over here because Val can actually see this screen. She can't see that one.
Oh, you're gonna share it on screen too?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, we ready?
we are.
Okay, and in that case, the next is on the agenda is the presentation of action on chief appraiser's motions for correction of appraisal roll.
Okay, we're gonna go into chief appraiser motions. These are motions I'm just gonna read the record. The first chief appraiser motion is Little Bay Shores, block number 2, block 5, lot 27, 1901 Cochrane. There was a clerical error for 19 and 20 for the appraisal district ID of 262575. It was a clerical error for 2019 and 2020. The entities affected are there listed: Aransas County Road and Flood, Navigation, ISP, and Rockport. The new value for 2019 was added, and the new value box was not checked on the account. This will allow it to be checked, and cap loss will be removed from the 2019 and related cap loss for the 2020 year. So this is a situation in which you had a bigger or better situation, and in the system, we have a box that's checked that we typically put new value. And in this particular case, whenever we were doing doing the supplement, we were able to find that this box wasn't checked because it was a huge cap loss for this particular one. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. And that's that particular one. Any questions?
No.
Okay. The second one is the chief appraiser motion to correct the appraisal roll. It's for BPP Naismith Marine, 2007 FM 3036. The account number is 8809040. Inclusion of property does not exist in form or at the location described on the tax roll for 2020 year. The entities involved are Aransas County, Road and Flood, Navigation, City of Rockport, and Aransas County. The business was sold in 1/1 of 2020 per business closure form by me. So we just deleted this stuff. Any questions?
No.
No.
Next one is chief appraiser motion to correct the appraisal roll for various properties, BPP Rock and Pop Kettles Company, various parts in Rockport. Account number is 8822059. Inclusion of property in the 2020 year. The affected properties are Aransas County Road and Flood, Navigation, City of Rockport, and the IC. This was a food truck that was sold at the end of 2019 per business closure form on 11/19/2020. So we, again, deleted this for 2020. Any questions?
Nope.
All right. Moving on to the next chief appraiser motion corrections for appraisal roll. Inclusion of property for 2020. The account number is 44253. The land leasehold, approximately 15,400 square feet of land improvement. This improvement should have been deleted from the account of 2020 as it no longer. So with land leasehold, it just reverts typically back to the navigation district or the, it could have been the county.
Were the improvements bulldozed or something? Is that what?
No, it just reverts back to a non-taxing. So if it's
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a leasehold. So the lease had expired or it no longer exists. The next thing that we have is the chief appraiser motion to correct the appraisal roll for Harbor Oaks Unit 1, Block 2, Lot 1, 2203 Lakeview Drive. The account number is 20308. A clerical error that affects the property tax liability for the 2020 year. The new value box was checked in error, which broke the tax ceiling. The new value box will be unchecked, so the ceiling will not be affected. This will cause a cap loss of $183,790 for the 2020 year. This was a situation that's reversed as the first situation. If we checked the box where we should not have checked the box, and why it's important is this particular property owner purchased the property and it was incomplete. It was complete at the time of the purchase, and therefore he gets that lower freeze ceiling.
Yep.
We corrected that error. It generates a huge cap loss, but it's warranted in this case. All right, the next one is the chief appraiser motion to correct the roll for State Track 118 Aransas Bay. That's 58974. The appraisal district property identification number is 8811012. This is a mineral account, and you can see for Pritchard Nabbit, this well had no production in 2016, and the account value should be 0. The motion will change the value from $7,380 to 0, and the only year in question is the 2016 year. So again, this is the Pritchard Nabbit thing. This is the well was closed. We had value on it per their role, but they recognize here and send us something that can.
We get a credit or something?
Yeah, they'll get a credit. Yeah, those people will get a credit. The next one is the same thing. It's a mineral account. It's instead of 118 on the state track, this one is 1 at 17 on the state track, and it has a very similar thing. There was no well production in 2016. You can see that the value went from $7,380 to 0 for 2016. Right? The next motion correct is Coconut Village, lot 142, east 20 feet of and west 47 feet of 143, improvement only. It's 118 Sweet Bank. This is the inclusion of property that does not exist in the form or location of the property tax for 2020. There was a manufactured or mobile home that was removed in 2019 that was deleted for 2020. So again, we just listed and we corrected it. We're taking it off the roll. The next one is the Dowdy and Mathis location. So we have a Fuqua. I'm sorry, we jumped on me. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Sorry, wigged out. My computer wigged out. I think it says 1426. Is that right?
1426 16th Street.
Okay. 1426 16th Street is a clerical error for 2020. Replacement structure was completed and was bigger and better under Texas Tax Code 11.135. The new value box was not marked. I think that's what it is. New value was not marked as new value for 2019. The new value of $63,340 will be marked for 2020, and the break in the existing tax code will occur. The additional tax of approximately $926.13 will be added for the 2020 year. This is the situation where it was bigger and better, and so you don't really know that until the construction's done. But the box was not checked, and this particular box needed to be checked. On the next one, you have Dowdy Mathis, 315 Cooper Street. It was a clerical error that affects 2019 and 2020. A new home was built in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. It was bigger and better per tax code 2323F. The tax amount associated with the new value should be added to the free. The new value in 2019 was $52,400.
Wait, Mike, it says new value in, in 2019.
Yeah, so if it's added 19, it affects the 2020 value.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah.
But they won't go back to 20. Will they go back?
Yes. It's just the box. Again, it's bigger and better. So the freeze and the cap is adjusted.
Got it. Okay.
The next one is the chief appraiser's motion to correct the appraisal roll for 100 North Dowdy, account number 64586, an error of ownership in property tax years 2018 to 2020. There was a warranty deed with vendor's lien filed on 9/26/18, which granted the land and manufactured homes to Robert Camacho. The land account for 64,514 was transferred. However, the personal property account, which is 64,586, contained the manufactured home, was not transferred. Taxes for 2017 were still owed on the manufactured home, so the account 64,586 will be deleted, and a new account will be created for the 2018 year going forward in the name of Robert Camacho and the manufactured home. Again, what we had a transfer of a real property account, a land account, and there was an associated mobile home account by itself. The land was transferred, but the mobile home wasn't transferred. Because there was taxes due on the 2017 year, we have to create a new account so proper liens can be attached to the previous owner. It kind of follows the mobile home and the owner. Kind of weird how that happens, but that's all that is. Next one is La Buena Vida, 20 acres, common area. The account is 3399. The property location. The account is 63851. It was a clerical error that adjusted the 2016 through 2020 years. This account specifies 20 acres. However, on the map, it was much smaller tract of land. La Buena subdivision has started as much as 95.141 acres, 29.62 acres in phase 2, and 64.49 acres in phase 1. There was 1.134 acres that was deeded to Aransas County. And 26.19 acres were in platted lots. The other common area consists of 19.82. There was a 2.3 acre tract and a 6.06 acre tract, leaving a balance of 2.092 acres.
And
The roads are 2.94 for GIS. Therefore, the motion will reduce the acreage in the account to 7.152 acres with an account created for 2.94 of the road. So what we did is we took the 20 acres and we realized that there was really only 10.092 acres. And we actually created one with a 7.152 acre tract and the road account of 2.94, which says that the original base account of, which is the account 63851, will actually be credited to difference. Okay.
okay,
The next one is the A175 Phillips survey, 1.9 acres. It's account number 61675. It's multiple appraisals for property tax years 2016 to 2020. The deed reference for the account was approximately 1 acre, which is located within account 63855. Therefore, account 61675 will be deleted and the GIS will be corrected in the appraisal record. So again, this was like a double assessment for things that laid on top of one another within that area. Any questions in regard to the chief appraisal motion?
No.
Okay. The next is the joint motion to correct.
Did you get it okay? Okay.
You all see that on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. The first joint motion to correct, this is between Mike Soto and Horace Brundrett. There was this is when we see something that we agree with, this is like a property owner in the district just agreed in principle to change the value or to change something. In this particular one, this is account number 33851. This particular property owner presented information on an income basis to support the market value of 200,000. We changed it to 200,000. Okay. The next one is joint motion to correct incorrect appraised value, International Bank of Commerce. It's 42585. The taxing unit involved show Aransas County Road and Flood, Navigation District, Aransas County ICU, and City of Rockport. The CAMA error settled value was 95,000. So there was some agreement, and we had an error in our system, and for whatever reason, it didn't take the 95, so we're agreeing to 95. The next joint motion to correct is Felipe and Frito, Diana Frito, it's 62233. It looks like the home is still being repaired as a result of Hurricane Harvey. The value will be the same as it was in 2019. This resulted in a reduction in assessed value in 2020 of the roll of 25,510. It will be changed from 121,930 down to 96,420 for the 2020 year. So this is just somebody saying, hey, listen, you thought it was repaired, but it wasn't. Here's some evidence. We agreed in principle, and it was changed. And that's all the joint motions that we have.
This event took place on October the 7th.
Yes. You mean the joint motion?
Yeah,
Yeah, the joint motion took place on October 7th.
I'm confused a little bit here, Mike. This looks like something that should have come in as a protest.
You can do it as a protest, but if the property owner and the district agree, then we don't necessarily need the ARB to rule. We typically get the ARB to rule if we're in disagreement. So this falls under this falls under errors, for an incorrect appraised value as it relates to a certain fact that we agreed to.
So if you agree to something, then the 25-25 rule doesn't count.
That's correct. It's saying that there's an incorrect appraised value that we're saying that we did something incorrectly. And we're affirming that, we're affirming that with the property. So in all of these cases, you can see that there's a reduction for some things.
Yeah, the others are a little different. This one caught my eye because it looks so similar to what we do here every meeting.
Yeah, as a point of order, we did the presentation on the chief appraiser's motion. We never did get a motion on that, to accept that.
No, I noticed that. I was looking for the letter. Shouldn't I have a document?
That's just for the supplement.
Okay.
Y'all want to make a motion on item number 5, and then now that we finished item number 6 as well.
Yeah. Can we have a motion for the chief to agree to approve the chief appraiser's motion for correction of appraisal rolls?
I make a motion based upon what we've heard from the chief appraiser that we accept the motions. This is the motions to correct incorrect appraised values. Joint motions to correct incorrect.
No, the
Chief appraiser motion.
chief appraiser.
Chief appraiser's motion for correction of appraisal roll.
So I'll second that.
Okay, chief appraiser's motions for correction of appraisal roll, sorry.
And we have a second.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we've done the report on joint motions to correct.
So do we need to, I'll make a motion that we accept the joint motions to correct the incorrect appraised value from the chief appraiser.
Second,
Second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Presentation and action on current and prior year supplements.
Okay, so, Val, which is the best one to either details or certified roll changes?
Let's just go ahead and look at detail.
Okay. So what you have on your supplement group detail, you have it up for? You have a listing of accounts, and these are gonna be, many of the things that we just went over. So they're gonna be chief appraiser's motions, they're gonna be joint motions to correct, or they're gonna be other combinations, exemptions that would have been applied, that we didn't go over necessarily. But you can see, like on page 1, the very first thing that you see that La Buena Vida common area stuff that we talked about. And you can see the adjustments that are there. Many of these, there's not a market value difference change. There's maybe just an exemption that's applied. You wouldn't necessarily, you wouldn't be involved in like applying an exemption or anything like that. So you won't see a market value difference there.
Wait, Mike, I'm sorry. I had a hard time hearing you. If there's a 0, what that means is they brought it to you, but y'all agreed there was no change warranted?
No, what it is it's typically, if it's a 0, there's no market value change, but it might be an exemption that's applied or something like that.
Right.
So there's no value change, but they imply an exemption that they get. So
And
they get an appraised value that's different, but this is a market value difference indicator right here. That's what we have to present.
Okay.
If you go forward about to page 5, it will be the end of that group, and it'll show the total change in market value, the total change to appraised value, and the total change to taxable value. And that taxable value takes into consideration the exemptions where there's zeros there.
So there's a whole lot more that have total change to taxable value, but they just don't show up on this as a line item.
Correct.
Well, they have a line item, but it's the total change to taxable value. Most of this group, you'll see a ton of zeros. Most of those are just exemptions that are just applied for late. And so if somebody comes in from another county and they have a, like say a homestead freeze and their freeze ceiling said 25% on the form, then we have to apply that to their current property. It relates to a certain taxable loss, and we have to present that to you.
And so
Yeah.
with that, and I'm sorry, Mike, so that would also affect that 702,733. That also goes as far as changes that were made in the tax year to 2020 values, right?
Yes, this is the 2020. Well, this is it can be
2016.
2016 through 2020.
Got it. Sorry. Okay.
Anything in between. And so the ones, like as you're going through the detail, this is a really good example. So if you see a line item that's red, that's a negative change. You see a line item that's black, it's a positive change. And then you'll see a lot of zeros. You notice those zeros, the very first one, if we went to Thomas Hill, I can almost guarantee like a 90% chance that's going to just be an exemption that's applied. And so most of these are just exemptions that are just applied for. And they're applied for during the 2020 year. It would have been applied for a reason. And that's the reason that we have the summary at the bottom where it says total change to market value is 425. So we're affirming that, like, hey, there's some value lost here for a reason. And that reason would have been disseminated in either the chief appraiser motions or the joint motions to correct that we went through in detail. And many of those you'll recognize that many of those were actually deletions or they were reductions in valuation. Well, if you look at that, the total change to market value would have been 425,000. The total change to appraised value is 342. Now, how do those relate? Well, you see the difference between the homestead cap comes into play there. The total change to taxable value, now that's a different story because that's going to be related to mostly exemptions that people apply for that they are eligible for. And it doesn't change the market value, but it changes the taxable value. And that's why it's broken out that way.
Got it.
Okay. You can also see personal property, mobile home deletion. Down below, you see the personal property, business personal property, and mobile home deletion. You can see that breakdown. So that first one was just the group detail for 323. The next one that you see is group detail 324. It's a much smaller supplement. And you can see all of those are zeros for market value difference. But do you notice that the total change to taxable value is 144,584?
Got it.
Again, most of these on the next one are going to be exempt as well. Those are zeros for all the rest of the details. And then 328, you have some others that are in the reds. Those are probably going to be ones that we would have already talked about. Welcome to, I encourage any questions that you might have on any of these.
You'll notice that some have a red and then they have a black for the exact same amount. And that's when we do something like a property split. If somebody just sells off one lot or 1 acre and we don't want the roll to change, but we have to correct the record, but we make sure that there's no change to the actual roll in value.
Another good one to go to is called the summary. It's called certified roll changes. Let's look at that one. This may be a little bit cleaner. It's not quite as lengthy. This kind of lets you know by year, in which group, by year, and what was changed. So you can actually see the 25-25C. So in the very first one, it says 2016, 25-25C, it's a chief appraiser motion, and it's a negative value of 339.20, right? The same thing, you know, it tells you in 2017, it tells you in 2018. So it looks like that was a deletion for those years. There was a correction here. The next one for 2019, you can see there's homestead caps. There's also chief appraiser motions. Those things are summarized. In 2020, you can see some mobile home property deletion, mobile home deletions, personal property deletion. You can see homestead cap, and then you can see chief appraiser motions and joint motions to correct. Those are summarized. And then you have the total at 342,000. All right.
That seems a lot low. I mean, I would have thought the 25-25s. I mean, to me, that's kind of low. I mean, so there aren't that many that prove out, I guess is what I'd say.
Well, the 25-25, like the joint motion to correct, the biggest one there is that one account, which would have been the Brundred account. Yeah.
And there's more down in group 328. There's more chief appraiser motions.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's just a summary of chief appraiser motion and joint motion.
Got it.
And these are things that, like, in answer to your question, Charlie, if we recognize an error and we agree to that error to be changed, then there's no need for the ARB to intervene. You know, we're required to present to you, like, we could. So when we make a change, we're required to bring it to your attention to say, hey, we reduced this value by this much. And we're required to bring that to you, because you can say, hey, I reject that. Joint motion to correct.
Right. So if someone sends in a 25-25 protest motion and you say, oh gosh, they're right, then you just change it and life goes on.
If they do a 25-25 delta and they're actually talking about delta, but the language, and I think Val's getting the language, let me go ahead and read it to you.
Well, no, I was actually just saying, I don't think that on the joint motions that the board actually approves that. We just tell them about it.
Yeah, we have to, well, we do present it to you. But on the 25-25, I'm just going to read subsection A, B, so you can get an indication of, like, what does it mean? Like, because most of these are B's and C's in here. The ones that you hear as a case are 25-25 delta or D. And that's one where we disagree about the value, and then it can't be changed because we're saying, oh no, we don't agree because it's a market value question. But if we agree that, like, something was, like, worse than it was, and we obviously agree, then we don't need to involve the ARB, because we're saying that we think that the value that we reported is incorrect. So this is 25-25 Bravo. The chief appraiser may change the role at any time to correct the name, address, determination of ownership, a description of the property, multiple appraisals of the property, an erroneous denial or cancellation of the exemption authorized by section 1113. If an applicant is recipient is disabled or 65 or older, an exemption authorized by 1113Q, 1113.1, or 1122, or a clerical error or other inaccuracy is prescribed by the board rule that does not increase the amount of tax liability. Before the 10th day at the end of each calendar year, the chief appraiser shall submit to the appraisal review board and the board of directors of the appraisal district a written report of each case made under this subsection that decreases tax liability to the owner of the property. The report must include a description of each property, the name of the owner of the property, the appraisal. So those are the two things that I have to do. So that's the reason we go over this.
So, you know, you don't need us to arbitrate as a board, but you do need to let us know what you changed.
Exactly. And so all of those reasons that I listed ownership, description of property, multiple appraisals, erroneous denial, clerical error, inaccuracy as prescribed by the board rule. You know, any of those things I can change if I say, oh yeah, this needs to be changed. So that's the reason we're going over this. The other subsection C goes on to say, the appraisal review board, on motion of the chief appraiser or of a property owner, may direct the written order of changes in the appraisal roll in the 5 preceding years to be correct. So this is like, again, motions that I just presented. Clerical errors that affect the property owner's liability for the tax imposed in the year. Multiple appraisals of the tax year. Inclusion of a property that does not exist in the form, and I read that several times, of a location described. Or an error in which property owner is shown by an owner who did not own the property in January 1 of that tax year. Now, Delta, I'm going to read Delta because this is when y'all get involved and y'all actually hear a case. Delta is at any time prior to taxes become delinquent, a property owner or the chief appraiser may file a motion with the appraisal review board to change the roll to correct an error that resulted in incorrect appraised value for the property owner. However, the error may not be corrected unless it has resulted in an appraised value received by more than one-fourth for resident homestead and 1/3 for in the case of property does not qualify for owner's residence. So again, those are kind of the changes. I have to tell you if I've changed the roll because you certified the roll back in July, and I have to tell you when I break the seal and I do something else. So many of these are just filing exemptions.
Right.
And many of these are saying, hey, did you know that this was this way? Or like this personal property wasn't here. We go, oh yeah, I didn't know that until just now. Or, you know, there's an error, or there's something that us and the property owner agree in principle. We're just making you aware of the facts at that.
And that includes an agreement that the value of the property is not correct and needs to be changed.
Right. Yeah, that's under 25. That's under 25, 8. This is H is in hotel. The appraisal review board on the joint motion of the property owner and the chief appraiser filed at any time prior to the date the taxes become delinquent shall by written order correct an error that resulted in an incorrect appraised value for the owner's property. So that's saying that we agree with the property owner that that's an incorrect appraised value. Like for some reason, say our computer wigged out on that particular property and put $1 million value on a property that was worth $546,000, and they go, well, it was 546. Show me how it's $1 million, like exactly $1 million. Oh, this radial was checked, or this box was checked, or it didn't calculate correctly. We can just correct that, but then we have to then inform the board, the ARB, that we made that change.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
So, okay, so then Mike, so then we make motions and accept all this. Then do you go through this same report with the board of directors, or do you just tell them that we or that we accept, whatever you call it? I'm sorry.
Yes. Yes, Cindy, the answer is yes, but they have no authority to even give an opinion about it.
Got it.
I am required to give the same supplement report, but
They take no action on it.
they take no action on it.
Got it. Okay.
All right, where are we at now?
We needed a motion to accept the supplements.
All right, so I make a motion based upon what we've heard from the appraisal district that we accept the actions on current and prior year supplements.
Second,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Val, this is the document I have then?
Yes,
Okay.
and the other board members can see it. It is uploaded into the Kindle, and I'm pulling it up now on the big screen.
What's it under, Val?
It is in that same. It's under supplement, and it says supplement approval to be signed by chairman. That's the PDF.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can we move
Okay,
ahead?
I got it. I got it.
Okay, so we'll move on to section 8, discussion and possible action. Taken to grant future hearings for protests filed.
Okay,
I've got a folder and a PDF that are separate.
okay, Val.
Okay.
So cafeteria is just one of these. It's just one of these. Okay, so we're gonna go over, account number 69816 is the first one. PDF by itself.
Okay,
Okay, so this is, just to bring you back up to speed, this was a situation in which this particular property owner requested, all of their stuff certified. You'll remember, or you might remember, that you had a ruling on this that you can't control the mail system, but there in this litany of things have a track and history of when this was delivered or was not delivered. They threatened litigation, to the best of my knowledge. My attorney, I went back to my attorney, and this is his last email. Attaches my response on September 30th. My thinking is that since it appears that the United States Postal Service did not deliver the hearing notices, then the ARB should schedule a hearing.
where's the response of the 30th?
That's included in the here. Keep going down, and
We probably don't have that in there.
okay.
Because
Do we have that on,
same
do we have
response.
that on our Kindles?
No,
No. Okay.
no.
I can go
No,
pull it.
no, it's fine. It's basically what we would ask as a district is that what we would go with our attorney's opinion here is that we are petitioning, actually, you have the property owner and you now have the district petitioning the ARB to please schedule this hearing. And I know in the past that you denied the hearing, but our council is telling us to request from you to please schedule this hearing. And so,
Well, I don't see why we would turn that down then. If that's what your attorneys are saying, then that's what we need to do.
Well, I'm not so fast. I mean,
We haven't even, I haven't seen I don't know why we're being we need to understand what's being shown to us for the first time.
Well, let's go to the very end and then move forward from there, because this is the most recent to the earliest. So if we go all the way down.
this was something that y'all did. This was sent by Cafeterio to Mr. Powers.
yeah, the first piece of mail was unclaimed. It wasn't lost, it was unclaimed.
Okay.
And, you know, you got to notice that you got a piece of certified mail and you don't claim it. That's a conscious decision.
Yeah, if you'll look at the response, on August 11th, 2020, the Appraisal Review Board has received and read your letter dated August 7th, in which you requested a rescheduled hearing date. The Appraisal Review Board has decided to deny the request.
Yeah,
And then on August 19th, that's just a minute.
Yes,
That's just a minute talking about the.
but that was for the, that was then the following on August 11th. So if you go, like I said, we'll just go up one page at a time.
Okay. That would be
So the
good.
summarized timeline that you see is that on June 17th, we received the notice of protest. On June 29th, the notice of hearing was mailed by certified mail. On July 13th, please refer to the USP tracking number. It was unclaimed on July 17th. Since this was certified mail, we had not received the receipt until July 13th, the day before the hearing. We then called and contacted the property owner, and they called us at the time we informed them of the July 14th hearing and are concerned that the tracking showed that it was still in transit. During this conversation, they were told that they would be scheduled for another hearing. On July 15th, the process for the notice of hearing will start again, and then another certified mail was sent on July 15th. The property owner elected to have it sent certified mail again, although we suggested suggested alternatives since there had been a problem with the certified mail in the event CUSP tracking number for July 15th. In summary, the appraisal district agrees in principle with granting the reschedule at a date that would account for any problems to the delivery of hearing notice. Meaning we give the notice of hearing to her by certified mail and regular mail to notify of the hearing and that the hearing be scheduled in a couple of months in advance. So this is, I guess, the August 19th, 2020 meeting.
Right.
Moving up the screen, you can see the tracking. And
So we granted a second hearing. They missed the first one because they didn't get the certified.
You didn't grant one. I was I reached out to them before the hearing took place and went ahead and just did another one. They made it as a cancellation because they can cancel a day ahead of the hearing.
Okay, so you moved it
Right,
and they missed the second time.
right.
I mean, how many times do we have to go through this?
So now I don't understand why they keep not claiming their mail, but then they're saying, but we want a hearing. And it's kind of, I just don't understand, I guess.
okay, let's go through the tracking history here. So on June 29th, it was UP Way, the origin facility. So it went out on sometime like on June 29th or right they're in. So June 29th, it was unclaimed on July 17th, which we kind of summarized before. Then I guess it went to a redistribution center on the 28th July. In transit to the next facility. In transit to a regional facility. Another regional facility. A regional facility. And did it come back here?
Yes.
So then it came back here on September 2nd. So again, it says, sender to Cindy attempted but not known, unable to forward, return to Cindy. And that's what we received. That's what that USP certified mail thing was.
So they don't, the post office is saying that person isn't at that address, or maybe that post office box has been closed or something?
We've confirmed the address. So, I mean, you are correct from the standpoint that it was unclaimed. The next thing that you have, and just so you can make a good decision, just in relation, because we have it here, we have our counsel saying something, but you just need to make it if you want to. It says,
But we don't have the document that he refers to. I mean, he makes this cryptic statement, but in a one-liner, but he refers to a document.
We're going to put it in there.
I'm not sure I have it. That might be why I did, but I'm gonna look.
Okay, so let's just continue going up the chain here. So this is to Benjamin Thomas from Val Smith. Thanks for your call today. For our conversation, I've attached the notice of hearing letter and the certified tracking notice of hearing that was mailed on July 15, 2020 for the account. So again, this is the first attempt was for July 14th, right? And then they called in the day before the hearing. So she wanted to know about that. So then we mailed another hearing, so July 15th for the account. I've also attached the mailing manifest that ties the tracking number to the account. So, all right, the next email is to me. We played a bit of phone tag according to this matter. Reminding on behalf of the Cafeteria, my understanding is that you are aware of the relevant facts, so I will not go into detail. We received a confirmation that neither the certified mailings were delivered timely or delivered at all for the referenced account. Considering the degree of evidence here, my question to you is why Cafeteria's hearing has not been set. I hope we can resolve this matter as all evidence indicates due process is not served. On another note, I do recall for an event several years ago for which personally mailed records, this is going to something else. To make sure you call me, withdraw the okay. Very next one is certified tracking, July 15th.
I don't have it. I think you must have sent it to me.
Okay, I'm gonna go get it. So Val, we're on this page right here. Go up. I'll show you. We'll just continue to read the tracking number. I'm gonna go.
Oh, okay. So the second one?
Yeah, just read that tracking number stuff.
Okay. So then a shipping label was created on July 15th and arrived in Dallas at the distribution center on the 16th. And then it was in transit on the 21st. And that's where it sat for a long time as we went back to repeatedly try to check it off the SPS tracking. Then September 17th, it says unclaimed, being returned to sender, and it made its way back to us. October 2nd was their last entry. And if you go up, that is the actual envelope that came back. And we received it on October 3rd.
So both of these ended up as unclaimed.
Yes, but on the envelope itself, it has a tag that says return to sender undeliverable as addressed, unable to forward. We did send a couple of things by regular mail to Cafeteria, and those made it through based on, I believe they, had said they could receive those. And I double checked this PO box, and that is the correct address.
Okay, so the appraisal district has done this twice. Twice it's been unclaimed. You proved that the PO box is correct by sending regular mail. This is not our problem.
Well, but Charlie, it doesn't say it's unclaimed on those receipts.
Go back down, Val, go back down just a little bit to the top of the thing. Just below the letter.
17th.
Unclaimed, being returned to sender, September 17th.
That doesn't mean it ever got delivered to them.
Yeah, see, this says undeliverable as addressed.
But it had the correct PO box on it.
That's the one on record. But we did send all of this to the attorney, Jim Evans, and he does say my thinking is that we should schedule a hearing.
His response is on September 30th, though. I'd like to hear what he had to say about it. The one-liners don't do it for me.
Okay. Right, Mike's looking for that because I think he must have just responded to Mike. I didn't have anything in my records.
Well,
Right.
And Val, did you talk to anybody with this? You talked to them, and they said you did reschedule, didn't you?
When I spoke on the phone with them, if you go back to the August 7th letter, that is their take on our conversation. I about having another hearing. Mine kind of froze up on me.
It didn't, where does it ever say they denied to receive it? It looks like the post office made the decision that it was undeliverable.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that's probably where the attorney is coming from, that, you know, there's not anything concrete maybe as far as.
I mean, yeah, there's no proof, it seems, that they denied it or that they ever had it in their hands. It looks like for whatever reason, even though it's the correct address, the post office looks like they made the decision, not the property owner.
Whenever there's been a question about mail, it has always been assumed that if it was mailed out of the ACAD correctly, that's all, they met their responsibility.
Yeah, but if the post office made the decision and it never got to the individual, then that's a whole different, ball of wax, I think.
That's happened several times. We've had people say that they never received something, and yet it came out of ACAD correctly to the correct address. And the protester says, we didn't receive it. And we say, well, sorry. The assumption is that if it gets sent out to the correct address, that's it.
But this is certified.
But it says by the post office that they couldn't deliver it. So how can you say that the property owner ever got it or denied it when the post office returned it?
I didn't say they denied it. I said that in similar situations where where something's been sent out and the protester says, I didn't receive it, we say, sorry, it went out with the proper address on it. That's not our problem.
Yeah, but we have proof from the certified mail thing, sticker or whatever that was, that it was that the decision to return it to sender was made by the post office.
Right. I do agree on that. It's a little bit different.
It's a little different situation to me. I mean, I get what you're saying, Charlie. Yeah, we've made that decision all along, that when the mail is always correct. Well, in this case, it seems very obvious that it wasn't correct, that it was our information was correct, but the post office, for whatever reason, didn't deliver it or couldn't deliver it or decided not to deliver it. Is that where the attorney's coming from?
I don't know. We don't have the text of his letter. All we have is a one-liner.
Well, I would think that would be where he was coming from. There's no proof that the guy ever received it.
Well, see, what I'm not understanding is here's their letter saying, yes, we spoke to Barbara and, we want to do the whatever, but
let me ask you a question about when you said you sent regular mail to that address, what did the regular mail pertain to?
Well, they asked what they would do. It was during this conversation that she's referring to. So it says on July 15th, if you go down to about the middle of page 2, on July 15th, she, meaning me, mailed a document regarding filing options, and a copy of her note is attached. I didn't include it in here. It does reference a rescheduled hearing. I mailed that document just regular mail.
And she got that.
And she's saying she got that. So that's where I'm taking that.
And that document that you sent included rescheduling?
No, it was simply when we were talking before y'all ever heard the case. She asked, what if the ARB doesn't rule in my favor, what are my remedies? So I simply sent her the page that we include when we send an order that lists all the things that you can do to appeal an ARB order. And I just sent that separately.
Okay, it says it does reference a rescheduled hearing though.
Okay, so Uh, yeah, I don't know. I can go back and look at that, but
So did she, it says that it references a rescheduled hearing, but is there any response from the property owner regarding, okay, we'll reschedule? So it never got rescheduled.
No, this is
Yes.
just saying that letter says that it does reference, that it's just instructions on, here's what you do.
Oh, okay, I got it.
It was
Yeah.
just general. It wasn't about her case. It was general how we handle.
General. Yeah, I got it.
So,
That's what I have.
okay.
It's on the-
and see, she's saying she did not, we stated that we had not received the notice via the agreed upon certified mail. She claimed it was mailed on the 15th, which she has proof of. Even though when we spoke to her on the 14th, okay, so. I don't know.
I kind of think this
I
is,
get what you're saying, but I'm also, it's weird how the post office has put on their, they're not clear. And so I'm kind of like, wow, they said they're unable to deliver. What? Hello, it's a PO box. Why can't the post office deliver it? That doesn't make sense to me.
well, that's my point, that it seems to me like it was a post office screw up for whatever reason.
I mean, and they may
Well,
have got,
and not the property owner's
They do have to sign for the certified mail. They
Right.
have to sign for it.
I want to go ahead and read. I'm not able to upload it because you're in it right now.
Oh,
But that's
okay.
okay. That's okay. I'm going to read the, attaches my response September 30th thing. So this is from Jim Evans to Mike Soto. It's referencing the account number 69816 ARB Hearings. Mike, was the notice unclaimed or did it just not get delivered? If this was a USPS issue, then the ARB should give the owner a hearing, in my opinion. That's dated on September 30th, 2020.
Now, relevant to that wording, if it was unclaimed,
It says, his question was the notice unclaimed or did it just not get delivered? But
the answer is on July 17th, the one I'm looking at that is up on your screen now, is recorded as unclaimed.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let me ask a question. If certified mail has to be signed for, how can you send it to a PO box?
They would put a slip in the PO box and then you would go into the counter and say, I need to pick this up.
That's right.
All the time. Yeah.
Oh,
but
all right.
okay, but the problem, okay, and Charlie, I understand, but okay, it says unclaimed / being returned to sender. So
That's
is
the
it
disposition.
is it that they're just saying it's because then on the actual envelope, that isn't at all what it says.
But the disposition was unclaimed,
But
returned to sender.
undeliverable as addressed. So that's why I'm having a problem with this. I'm like,
Well,
After the question on the September 30th email, after the question, there was a statement by Jim that says, if this was a USPS issue, then the ARB should give the owner a hearing, in my opinion. And we're just going to default to following what our attorney says. I understand that we can't open up you don't want to set a bad precedent for just allowing people to do whatever. And you do have, you have evidence that says that it was unclaimed, and that's the reason this is so difficult. You just need to know that how many certified requests did we get? We only got
Or it's a new thing this year where
Yeah.
you can request it be sent
I
certified.
think we only had 4 people out of the 1,100 or 1,400 appeals, or however many appeals we got. But we had a lot of appeals. We only had 4 people request certified mailing. We've only had 1 instance, and this is the instance, that there was any kind of hiccup. So I know you don't want to set a bad precedent, You know, I just want you to be informed of all the facts. And I
Let me-
can't.
The other issue here, talked about this for 30 minutes. We can talk about it for another 30 minutes, or we can just give them a hearing for 30 minutes. I mean, that's a simplistic answer.
You're setting a precedent.
Setting
You're
precedent.
setting a bad
I
precedent.
don't think we're setting a precedent, Charlie, because this is very different from other decisions that we've made regarding mail and the post office. To me, if the attorneys have looked at it, you know, you got to believe that they're a little bit smarter than we are from a legal sense in what should or shouldn't be done. So I would go, you know, with the attorney's decision and just go ahead and hear the case.
I would say, I mean, I kind of feel like, because I think there is something that we are supposed to take the lead from our attorney. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that. So I think we should at least let our attorney know about this. Maybe I'm just being overly cautious.
The USPS evidence is like,
I can't, Robert, I wish I could hear you, but I can't. I'm sorry.
I was just saying that the USPS evidence is conflicting here. One says undeliverable and one says
I agree. No, I agree. I'm leaning towards, I think that we should probably end up, but I do think that in order to have a clean pathway, I think we need to take one more action on our part. The other thing is, what are we going, I don't want to send this person another certified letter. I think we need to send something instead to the attorney, because obviously there's a problem with this person's address in certified mail. And I just don't want this to continue.
Well, you can't violate their rights if they've already asked for a certified letter. We have to send a certified letter, but there's nothing that prevents us from sending a regular mail letter either on the same thing.
Well, if it's certified and it's sent, you know, in care of the attorney, isn't that the same thing? I mean, to make sure it gets there.
No, it needs to go to the address of record.
Okay.
And we can
All
send
right.
one certified and we can send one regular mail.
But Charlie, are you catching what I'm saying? Do you think we need to reach out to?
You want me to give it to Skip?
I think that we should at least do that, because I think that's whose counsel we're supposed to follow. But I could be, maybe I'm totally wrong.
That's all right. I need you to print all this whole litany of stuff. Val?
Okay, sure. I'll do that and send it to you.
When you,
Are
when
you,
they
are you
pick,
saying, Charlie, to do that so that our attorney can look at it?
yes?
Okay, I don't think it's necessary personally, but I'm not going to oppose it.
I mean, I'm good with whatever. I just brought it up. So I'm good with whatever the group rules.
Robert, what do you think?
I think to cover our bases and be prudent, we should probably have Skip look at it.
Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and do that then. I'm fine
Okay.
with that.
Then Val, if you could print it all out and send it to me when he comes to pick up the goodies,
Yes, I will.
okay? And I will see if I can make a deal with Skip to pick it up tonight on his way home.
Okay.
Okay, and then do we have to all Zoom again to make a decision based on what the attorney says?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
I said, when Skip looks at it and makes a determination what he thinks, then we all need to hear what he says to make a determination what we're going to do. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, do we have any time frame we have to work within here?
I have no idea what Skip's
No, I mean,
calendar looks like.
from not from Skip's point of view, but from our board position, do we have to have this done within a certain period of time or by a certain date? I guess I'm asking Mike that question.
Well, I mean, you have a protest, we have a protest on file, right?
Right, if it's marked as no show.
Right. There is a delinquency date issue that is cumbersome, you know, if they go past January 31st and it's not resolved. But, yeah, I mean, if Skip gives you, you know, some kind of something in the first couple of weeks of January, I mean, anytime, you know, within a month, 30 days, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably going to run into January before we get to, you know, it is the holidays, and who knows how busy Skip is.
So this Benjamin Thomas that sent you the last letter, which was September 22nd, that's the last. What is he?
Agent or the property owner?
He's an agent. So he's not an attorney.
Agent on the account. I think he's, you know, he's an attorney also.
Oh, okay, he's an
just-
attorney. He's an attorney, he's an agent that represents other accounts, he's not listed as agent of record on this account. Not listed as agent of record on this account. He just said, I don't know, maybe they're, I don't know.
Did you say he was not listed on this account?
He is not listed as the agent of record on this account, yet
That's what I thought you said.
he is an attorney that has submitted a letter on behalf of the owner. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's,
And the last you've heard from him was September 22nd?
yes. Val may have spoken to him since
No,
then, but
I
no,
haven't,
he's indicating that.
that I recall.
Okay, and so September 22nd, now we're, okay, September, October,
I was
November.
going to say, it doesn't seem like there's any sense of urgency over it if we've already gone through 3 months. So we might as well just continue down the path and keep on going and let Skip look at it, and then we'll go ahead and do whatever he tells us to do.
So he hasn't contacted you back? I mean, what made you contact,
That's what I'm saying. There isn't.
what
seems to be
made
a
you
sense of-
contact
Evans.
Evans? Mike?
Because there was some question whether like the whole unclaimed or undeliverable thing, you know, and we wanted to cover our bases. And you'll realize that in the first round, when we put it before the board, he denied it. And we just wanted to be sure that, because after that denial is when we received the Benjamin Thomas letter. And we just wanted to make sure we were covering our bases. And this is the next opportunity that we've had to talk about it. So here we are.
Okay.
You said you're gonna put it before, you're gonna put it before your attorney. You know, let's just see what he says, and then we'll go forward, okay?
If Skip has the ability to do Zoom, let's see if he's available. Maybe we can resolve this right now.
Sure.
Well, it's a lot for him to look at, Charlie, over, real quick.
Yeah, but if he has Zoom, he could do it the same way we're doing it.
Well, we can try it, but I think it's going to take up his time, a lot of time for him to look at all. But anyway, go ahead if you want to try that.
Probably. It's probably better if you just give him all the documents, let him chew on it, and then he comes back with an answer, and then
That's what I think. Let him. I mean,
you just present what he said, and then.
Let me let him make that decision.
How can I help you?
Hi, this is Charlie Powers calling. Is Skip available?
One moment.
Yeah, this is Charlie Powers calling. Is Skip available?
No, sir, he's in the deposition today. Can I call you back?
No, that's okay. Yeah, he can call me back, but I needed to pick up something in my house when he comes home this evening. Can you ask him to do that, please? This
You
is,
pick up something from your house?
yeah, he knows where I live. We live in the same subdivision in Harbor Oaks. We have a question. This is an ARB question, and it involves looking at a number of documents. And I really don't have any way of sending them to him. So I'm going to have them printed out, and I'll have them here for him.
Okay. Can I go ahead and have a phone number?
Sure. 361-205-6757.
205.
6757.
Does he need to call you before he gets there?
No, that'd be just fine if he just stops by on his way home.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
And it might be good if you include, Mike, the letter that you sent to Jim Evans and then his answer and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, the document that you went and read to us is important because it relates to the discussion of unclaimed.
Okay, thank you. Can we, we'll move on to the next one, if your permission.
Yeah,
Okay, so these are three different account numbers: 62742, 24900, and 17687. They're all represented by the same person, or they might even be the same owner. Is that right?
Yes, no, I believe they're different.
They're different, but they're represented by the same person.
Agent.
Agent.
Oh, where is that on our Kindle?
It is under,
Pull it up, Val.
yes, I did. It's under the grant, if we're considering granting future hearings.
it's the folder, right?
Yes,
All right, now if I open the folder, I've got
two
two documents.
documents.
Go to the bottom of the two.
Is that where it says PID 69816?
No.
It's
no.
the one above it. It's
It's
the
the
folder above it.
Oh, read and act on no previous meetings. That's not it. Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm just gonna,
Consideration of possible future hearings, open that.
Possible future hearing.
Okay. Then there's another one that says, consideration of granting of future hearings. You see that?
I'm sorry, consideration for what? Open, I'm confused.
Of granting future hearings.
It's the second one down, Kathy. Number 8, remember VIII? And it says consideration of granting future hearings.
I've got it on the big
I'll
one.
just look at it on the screen.
That's
I can't
Okay.
find it.
And here I'm going into it, Kathy, if you want to watch how I'm going in. So I click that, and then I click that folder.
Okay, now we have two documents.
Yes, so that's simply because we had some sort of glitch and couldn't get the one document to load with all the others. But go into the one that lists all three accounts.
Okay,
We're gonna start at the top. Well, let's start at the bottom. I guess.
Okay, we're gonna start at the bottom.
All right, so here's some protest forms, and you can see that these are two of the three accounts are listed right here. The last one is, like Val said, it's on that other one by itself. Incorrect market price value, values and income of those properties. Okay.
Are you looking at an upside? Oh my God, okay. Are we looking at Upside Ventures?
That's who I have pulled up. There's three altogether. Upside Ventures, Cedar Willow LLC, and then there's one more that's in the other folder, other
Okay.
PDF. But they're all similar, so it's not really important.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a request for a hearing that they said they didn't get. They sent in a protest. They said they sent in a protest, but we never received the protest. The issue is they sent an email protest to Donna T, as in Tango. And so at that time, what we were doing is, obviously we were telling people to mail in their protest, send it in. They had the availability of doing an e-file for all the protests. And sometimes we would encourage people, just send it to me, here's my email address, whatever. There was a disconnect between what they heard and what they sent. So they sent it to Donna T rather than Donna P, as in Paul. And so they sent it to Donna T. And you can see in it says that this is going from Laura Galindo to Donna T. Good morning, the protests are attached. We would like the informal hearing and evidence release. Please confirm receipt. Okay, Laura Galindo. Then there's another Laura Galindo. Good morning, was following up on the status of protests that were submitted on 16th. We have not received any notices. And this is I want you to notice that the first email was on June 16th. When was the hearing? When were the hearings closed?
I can go into PAX and see.
Because June 16th seems pretty long. Like, were they closed the 19th, maybe? Protest day. Protest deadline day?
I'll go into
No,
PAX.
it's before that. Or did we take it to the 20?
Okay, all you have to do is go into any account and then go to
Oh, but they didn't return our form.
just go to any
Okay.
account.
Yeah.
And go into events and go into notice.
June 17th.
June 17th is the deadline date. So again, there was a phone call apparently between Mrs. Galindo and Donna that happened, I guess, sometime before the 16th or on the day of the 16th. And they were worried about the deadline date of the 17th, the next day. All right. So what they have is they try to send a protest and FID. What I think they meant to say PID. The protest and FID or PIDs were below. We would like to request an informal hearing for the evidence. Please confirm receipt. So the next time they reach out is June, July, August, September, October. 4 months later, they reach out on October 14th, was following up on the status of the protests that were submitted on 16. We have not received any hearing notices. So at that point, I guess it says, Mr. Smith, see the original email below with the protest appointment of agents that were submitted back on 16. That was forwarded to Val. The next thing is from Val Smith to Mrs. Galindo. Thank you for sending the documentation. It appears the problem is you sent your email to Donna T, which is not a valid email address. Most email service give a bounce back notification for invalid email address. From what we can best tell, the email address was verbally communicated to Donna P at aransascat.org. The notice of protest was not delivered by the district either by mail or email. The options to file a protest under tax code section 41411 for an alleged failure to deliver notice for which the owner or agent was entitled for a motion correct. For a motion, a 1/3 or 1/4 error. I will apply the appointment of agent forms sincerely. Because this person was not the owner of record, they were just the agent. Okay. The next one is, good morning, Ms. Smith. This is the info. However, did not get a bounce back. Otherwise, would have called to verify the email address. But if you notice in her first thing, she says, please confirm receipt. And there was no confirmation of receipt from us because we never got an email. So continuing on October 21st, hi, Ms. Galindo, please mail a hard copy to the Aransas County Appraisal District. You can email to office manager if you would like. Thank you. I think you're referring to the appointment of agents there.
No, she said, just to clarify, where and how do I submit the protest?
Okay, so again, this is what, oh yeah, that's right. Moving up, Mrs. Smith, the protest for the above PIDs, we would like informal for each. Would you please provide a copy of all this? And it says all what they want. I had Mr. Evans get involved, so this is from Val, CC to me, to Mr. Evans. This is Keel Masor that's filed protest. You and I had correspondence about this on October 19, 2020, sent information about the venues for protests they had. And they went into Donna T and Donna P. Since they didn't protest under the recommended remedies that you've advised, I've included a copy of the letter that I thought might be appropriate. This is a letter that you've worked before. I added the paragraph about the 41-411 section, file a protest under. Can you please see if you recommend sending this letter to revisions? Also included are the email between the Mrs. Galindo and myself. Please note that October 21st I sent was dictated by Mike, sincerely Val. This is from Mr. Evans. Please see and attach with my suggested edits. I'm not sure if the owners have a remedy under 41-411 if the district never received the protest. As you say in the draft section 41-411 permits a protest for failure to deliver a notice for which the property owner is entitled. So again, the issue is not whether they received a notice. They obviously received a notice. So they don't have a remedy under 41-411. So they did not timely file a protest. In my opinion, the letter should not address 41-411. If the owner raises it, then we'll deal with it. Okay, the next email is, thank you, Mr. Evans, sincerely Val. You're welcome, Mrs. Smith. And here's the letter in reference with the edits.
Date is this
October 27th is the letter. So this is the Keel and the SOAR LLP. We are in receipt of your protest on October 26th, 2020. The Appraisal Review Board is scheduled to meet on December 8th. The late protest you filed will be placed in the meeting's agenda, and the ARB will make a determination whether you grant a hearing or not. Since the protest was not filed timely by the deadline contained in the property section tax code 4144, the chief appraiser of Aransas County of district will most likely recommend that the ARB dismiss the protest on the basis of your untimely protest, which I do. I do not agree to. I am telling you that they did not file timely, or I'm affirming to you that they did not. Should the ARB decide to grant a hearing on the merits of your protest, then you will be notified by mail 15 days prior to your schedule. There is another remedy for filing protests after the deadline, which may enable you to go forward. Section 2525 Delta allows for the property owner to ask for a correction of the appraised value. To obtain relief under this section, you must determine that the property was appraised by the district for more than 1/3 of the property's actual market value. If the appraised value grants release under the section, you will be required to pay for these tax and penalties equal to 10% of the amount calculated on the basis of corrected appraised value, and the amount secured by a lien on securing the property tax, payment of the property tax. And so she attached a motion to correct the hearing over by more than 1/3. And please contact me if you have any questions. So this is the response to that. I am a property tax consultant. I'm reaching out with new facts surrounding this circumstances is set for December 8, 2020. as instructed by Aransas County Prison District, we want to file our protest on or by June 17th, 2020. On June 16th, we filed a protest via email, seen in the screenshot below. However, the transcription error in the email address resulted in the district not receiving our protest. Mrs. Galindo sent the protest to Donna T at aransascounty.org and never received a bounce back error indicating the incorrect email address. On October 19th, Mrs. Galindo sent a follow-up request, which concerning the status of the protest, in which Mrs. Smith responded to on October 21, clarifying the email address was not correct. It should have been Donna P. Our firm acknowledges the receipt of the Aransas County Prison protest deadline obligations. We ask the clients not be penalized due to single letter transcription resulting in the protest not being received by the district, including several screenshots corresponding to Mrs. Galindo and Mrs. Smith, as well as the protest. So in this case, I think it's the responsibility of the property owner to file a timely protest. I want to say almost all situations, if we tell the property owner, if you want to email us in, you have to follow it up with a hard copy. You follow it up with a hard copy. Furthermore, everybody had. They didn't do that. No.
But we can't say for sure that we said that.
No, but that's why I said in almost every case, the language that we say on the phone, if you want to send it in by email, please follow it up with a hard copy. We cannot say with certainty, just like Val said, that happened on this occasion. Having said that, every property owner this year had a e-file thing sent to them, and they could have done the e-file, which is a secure way to do it. They didn't do that for whatever reason. So,
Has anybody tried to send anything to Donna T?
I just did.
And what happened, Charlie?
Nothing yet. It doesn't bounce.
Okay.
At least not now. It hasn't yet.
Because nobody had to e-file. That wasn't so that.
But everybody has to deliver a protest timely. They have methods by which they can.
Right.
And that was not in our notice of appraised value. The methods were an e-file with a PIN number or certified or mail. They could also drop it off at our drop box. Now, as a courtesy, when people were struggling here, we'd say you could, and it happened on several occasions, just email it to this email address. We were trying to work, we were trying to help people in light of COVID.
No, I think you were. My point is, though, if they thought they sent it to the right email and they don't get a bounce back, it's kind of, I'm not, Mike, I think the appraisal district, you gave them different options. The option they chose, unfortunately, they heard a T where there was a P. But when you send an email to that address, Charlie's saying he's not getting a bounce back. So it's kind of like not anybody's fault, I think, but.
Well, what it says is that Donna T actually exists as a legitimate mailbox on aransascad.org.
Right.
It may not be used by anybody, but it exists as a legitimate address.
Right.
How do you, what do you see?
Well, when you send an email to an address like Donna T and it doesn't bounce, it says that it was absorbed by the system for some reason.
It went. Your email went. Now you have a receipt showing you sent this at this time to that email. So
this ID exists.
Well, it's unfortunate that there's two that are so similar, but that's not his problem.
we can't say whether the other one exists or not. Just the fact that you haven't gotten a bounce back, or the fact that they haven't gotten a bounce back.
I haven't gotten a bounce back.
Yeah, well,
Person might have.
I mean, there's certain things about mail systems that are kind of universal. If you send it to an invalid ID, it'll bounce. If it doesn't bounce, the ID exists.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's his ID. It's somebody else's.
But I don't think this person at that company set out, I don't think Megan Mellenbrook set out to send it to the wrong one, okay? You know, so I think it was an honest mistake, but nothing came back saying this email does not exist, which normally if you send an email to an email that doesn't exist, that's usually what it does do. It bounces it back.
Right.
Yeah.
So she believes that it went through.
She sent it
Yeah.
to the right. She just talked to him on the phone. She got the email from her. She sent in the things.
yeah, but that wasn't, I mean, I understand that we made a, we were trying to help the person, but that wasn't one of the designated methods by which, we were doing it. I'm saying that it's incumbent upon the property owner to get us a protest time. And it always will be. I mean, it just always will be. It's incumbent upon the property owner to give us a protest. And I don't know what to say. I mean, if there was an urgency on July 16th, and this email was sent on July 16th, because the deadline date was on the 17th, and I sent it on June 16th at 11 a.m. Please confirm receipt. And I know that the deadline date is the next date, and I called with some urgency. Did you get that?
But not everybody.
How about the next day? How about 4 months later? No, that doesn't play. That's why I'm disagreeing. I'm going to say that they did not deliver a timely protest. 4 months later, approximately, July, August, September, October.
Well, different, I can't speak on that, Mike, but, different
I can.
for different time.
I definitely can. I mean, this is not something that we run into all the time. I mean, here at the appraisal district, we process thousands of protests. And this is not, you don't, like, if you call with emergency on June 16th, you don't call, or you don't, hey guys, I know it's been 4 months. You call the next day if you're concerned about it. But that's not the issue. The issue is, did they deliver a protest to the district?
Well, how did they get the email?
They talked to Donna on the phone, and they transcribed a number that was, or an email that was incorrect. So they did not deliver a timely protest. I know that they think that they did, but they didn't.
And of course, we did not confirm receipt, which they requested.
Right.
I'm kind of going along here with Mike on this one. In my thinking, anyway.
You would have thought within 2 or 3 days of the deadline.
I can't hear you.
You would have thought that as the deadline passed and they hadn't heard anything, after 2, 3, 4 days, they would have called and said, hey, we haven't heard anything.
How about 2 or 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, the only thing I can hang my hat on is that it said, please confirm receipt. And since there was no confirmation of the receipt, they should have thought that something might be wrong.
Right.
However, that,
But they
Emailed
didn't do any, they didn't do anything about it.
right.
Whatever.
However, you can have your wizards look into it, but that email exists. However, the confirm, please confirm, that's what I can hang my hat on.
So are you saying you agree that we shouldn't hear it?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I agree with that. Cindy?
On this one, I'm torn. I agree with everybody's points. I'm still not sure. Here's the thing. I get it. They misheard. They sent an email that somebody gave them, okay, and misheard the P and the T. I totally believe that. I don't think Donna gives out the wrong email, okay? But they sent an email and they have proof of that you can, I mean, it'd be really hard to manufacture a receipt of an email. They have proof that they sent it on the 16th. So even though it says please send receipt, and I agree, October, you know, yes, they should have checked on it before that, but just because we didn't send a receipt doesn't mean they didn't send it in as their thing proves. So I'm torn. I agree with, there's points on both ways. It just kind of was like a lot of.
Oh, it was unfortunate, but they still, I think the ball was in their court to follow up on it. We didn't know that they sent it, so we didn't follow. I mean, the district didn't follow up on it because they didn't know they sent it because they never received it.
It's never the district. It's not the district's responsibility to follow up.
Yes, that's my point.
But the person, if they sent it in, and they have proof that they did.
Yeah, but they, you know, if it was, you know, 2 days later or whatever, they should have followed up. But 3 months or whatever it is now, it's just, you know, that's my problem. That
no, and I get it. I get it. I trust me. I totally. It's just there's too many things that I'm like, I don't know.
Robert, where are you?
I don't believe this was timely. I think they should have, after a few days or certainly a few weeks of not hearing back, that they should have contacted the district before October, before 4 months.
Right. I agree. So there's three of us. Well, no, Charlie and I. Well, how many of us are here? Just the three of us? No.
4.
Charlie, I, and Robert all agree that we should not hear this. So why don't we just make a motion and go on down the road?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not sure what to make a motion on because I don't have the right information in front of me. Okay, I can say I make a motion regarding. I don't have. Do we have a case number or anything?
This protest, but here I've pulled up on this screen the 3 PID numbers, the 3 account numbers.
I don't have them.
Okay, do you have a pencil handy?
Oh, okay, I've got a property ID. It's number 17687. Is that correct?
That's one of them.
Okay, 17687-24900 and 627742.
That's correct.
Okay, regarding those property IDs, I recommend that the appraisal review board not hear the case.
Second, please.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is passed. Do you have any more interesting things in your bag of tricks this morning, Mike?
Just moving on to the next item.
What is the next item?
Discussion and possible action taken on an open agenda item. I don't think, or was there one? No?
Okay. Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up? I hear only the sound of crickets. So
I make a,
I will
are we done then?
motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second, please.
I second it.
All in favor?
All of it.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, guys, thank you. Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Wait. Val,
Yes,
could you get this printed and over to me as soon as possible this afternoon? I don't know when Skip might be coming home.
yes, I'll do it right away. And as I put on the note, we'll be coming by to pick everything up quickly because we do have another meeting this afternoon with the board of directors and we need to use the Kindle.
Understood.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
put mine out right now as soon as we hang up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Merry
I'll put my
Christmas,
phone
everybody.
on the
Good
table.
holidays. Stay safe, stay healthy.
We'll try.
Hey, Val,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna put my box downstairs so they don't even have to come upstairs.
Okay, great.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.